Oh, James Harden. James Harden. One of the all-time greats. You could argue a top 6 or 7 shooting guard of all time. But I don't even think you can argue that. He's definitely a top 6 or 7 shooting guard of all time. You can honestly put him in that 4 or 5 conversation. I'm not having anyone say he's better than Dwayne Wade or he was greater than Dwayne Wade, because you know what? That is just recency bias at its finest. Like, he's a lot worse than Wade. But still, you can put him in that Iverson category, I guess. At the same time, lads, Harden's old right now. And Harden's coming off a not very good season. I'm gonna be honest, he wasn't great last year now, was he? But Harden has just said this: I'm not a system player, I'm a system. Lads, it's 2023. After saying that, I know he was just saying stuff. He wasn't meaning it exactly like that. But he did. There's some truth behind every, joke type thing. And Harden obviously thinks he's still that guy. Rumor has it that Harden didn't sign for Houston because he talked his way out of a max contract by saying he wanted to lead the league in scoring. Oh, James Harden. James Harden. You're just not that guy anymore. Still a damn good player. He is still one of the best playmakers in the league. He's still able to get to the line. He's still a 20 and 10 guy. He's not a 30 and 10 guy. And he's definitely not a 35 and 10 guy like he was at one stage. But since that hamstring injury for Brooklyn, Harden's career has gone just wild. Like, he did start off the next year kind of iffy, but obviously the Brooklyn Nets were incredible before Kyrie came back in January. And then Kevin Durant goes and gets injured. And then Kyrie and James Harden just implode. And then James Harden, again, asked out. And then he's now asked out of Philly. Like, how many times are you going to just get away with just asking out? And not only asking out, it's the way he's asked out. He's put on the fat suit once. He's just said, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to play for you guys once. And in fairness, at least with Brooklyn, that was just wild. Like, they never stood a chance anyway. Swept first round. I think with Harden, maybe they could have been better, I guess. They may have taken 2 games off Boston in that series. But that team was dysfunctional. That team was so dysfunctional. Like, Kyrie Irving is just... I'm going to say it right now. Like, James Harden and Kyrie Irving are 2 guys that just bring dysfunction everywhere with them. James Harden had it good in Houston. Kyrie had it good in Cleveland. But since both of those trips, it has been nothing but dysfunction for both of those players. And I'm just going to say it right now. I think the Clippers made a mistake. I think they risked it. I think it's a risk. And you know what? I don't think it's a bad risk. I think you could have gone 100 times worse had you given up like a Terrence Mann. Although, I'm not gonna lie, Rocco and Batum are good players, especially Batum. But I think they made a mistake. I think they made a big mistake. And I wouldn't be surprised if what happens is Harden looks good and Westbrook looks terrible. Because I don't see how Westbrook, Kawhi, Paul George, and Harden can be on the floor at the same time. I just don't. And none of them are going to come off the bench. None of them are going to be happy coming off the bench. Like, you've got two guys that in Westbrook and Harden, you've got 2 unbelievably talented guys that an argument could be made that they're not winning basketball players. I'd go more Westbrook than Harden in that argument, because obviously Harden's been 1 game off making the NBA Finals, has made conference finals, has won big playoff series, and nearly made the conference finals this year, and I think they probably do go and beat the Miami Heat if they make it there. But they're both just guys that need the ball all the time. Like, Harden is more ball dominant than LeBron James. Maybe not. Maybe that's just a crazy statement. But still, how is Westbrook meant to play with that when he's gonna get very few shots when you can help off Russell Westbrook. When Westbrook played off the ball, because Harden's not very good off the ball. When Harden played with Kyrie, Harden was the point guard. It's not. I just don't think it's gonna work. I think the Clippers are screwed. Especially if Harden thinks he's a damn system and not a system player. Because you better believe it, James Harden. You're the third best player on that team at best. No, he's a lot better, Russell Westbrook. I don't know what I'm saying. You're the third best player on that team, James Harden. If you think you're the system, no. You're there to help the system, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, win a ring. More so Kawhi Leonard. It's gonna be a funny season. It's gonna be a long season for Clippers fans because this one's gonna be fun. And you know what? The NBA soap opera is just continuing to be the most entertaining reality TV there's ever been.